Learning outcomes. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to mix concrete for slump and measure workability of fresh concrete. What is slump test? The concrete slump test is used for the measurement of a property of fresh concrete. It is an empirical test that measures the workability of fresh concrete. The slump test result is a measure of the behavior of a compacted, inverted cone of concrete under the action of gravity. The slump concrete takes various shapes and the slump is termed as collapse, shear, and true slump. Each type of slump represents different degree of workability. Workability is a property of raw or fresh concrete mixture. It means the ease of placement and workable concrete. The concrete can be placed, can be compacted easily without any segregation. Now let's go and do our practical. Make sure all materials, specimens, apparatus and equipment needed for the test are prepared. Cement, fine aggregate or sand, coarse aggregate. These are your materials and specimens that we are going to measure according to the ratio that we're going to use for our slump test later on. We would need clean water. Here I have taken about 1 liter of water. We would include the water and count our water cement ratio later. As for the apparatus and equipment, we would need the slump cone, compacting steel rod of 16 mm diameter and 600 mm long. Other than that, we would also need scope, base plate, trowel, and measuring scale. Now we are going to measure our materials for the concrete mix. We are going to prepare a concrete mix for the grade M25 with ratio of 1:1:2. We are going to use the ratio and measure our cement, sand and gravel using this weighing machine. We are going to mix 4 parts of concrete using ratio of 1:1:2, which would be 4 kilograms of cement, 4 kilograms of sand, and 8 kilograms of gravel. Next, we are going to prepare our concrete mix. After measuring all our dry materials, we're going to mix the concrete on a dry base plate. Pour all the dry materials on the base plate, one by one, slowly. To get the best outcome of a hand-mixed concrete mix, we need to make sure all the dry ingredients are mixed properly and thoroughly before adding in the water. Now you can gradually add in the water, liter by liter. Do not mix all the water at once to the dry ingredients. Record the amount of water used for your concrete mix. Now we can start filling in the concrete mix into this slump cone. Slump cone is placed on a smooth surface and the container will be filled with concrete. Ask one of your team members to step on the slump cone to make sure the slump cone does not move when you are adding in the concrete mix. Now you would need to fill the slump cone with the prepared concrete mix in 3 or 4 approximately equal layers. You are going to tamp each layer with 25 strokes of the rounded end of the tamping rod or the compaction rod in a uniform manner over the cross-section of the slump cone. For every subsequent layers, the tamping should penetrate into the underlying layer. Make sure each layer is tamped 25 times with the standard compaction rod. When the mold is completely filled with concrete, the top surface will be struck off and leveled with the slump cone top opening. Immediately after filling in completed and the concrete is leveled, the cone is now slowly and carefully lifted vertically, and unsupported concrete will now slump. The slump is measured by placing the cone just beside the slump concrete, and the tamping rod is placed over the cone so that it should also come over the area of slump concrete. Now you may measure and record the value of your slump test. Don't forget to record the value of your slump and also the type of slump that you get from your concrete mix. So what is your degree of workability? Finally, don't forget to clean all your apparatus and equipment and make sure to arrange all your apparatus and equipment properly before leaving the workshop. Thank you and all the best for your slump test.